I literally wanted to write an episode that was a bottle episode that forced me to write a play. I also, as an executive producer, needed to help find money so that we had money to do the 200th. So I thought, if I wrote a bottle episode, we could save a lot of money. What could I discuss? What is topical? What could actually sustain four walls for that length of time?
This country is not too kind to black boys.
Emmett Till, Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin.
So you were concerned about Lyle's safety?
Virginia's still the South, Agent Rossi. I'm concerned about a lot of things.
And I wondered, because we questioned, why? Why do killers kill? And I wondered whether racism could actually affect somebody to kill or go on a spree, have a vendetta, and could I write a sort of play or a story about that made you sympathetic and also peel back the layers of racism that sort of are inherent to the fabric of this country.
We got a drink for you, bud. Let it go. You're gonna fly tonight.
The title of the episode originally was The Willow Tree. And on my first day of prep, I go to the concept meeting and everybody's telling me, we can't find any willow trees. We found oak trees, but we can't find willow trees. And we know that's like very, very important at the end. And I said, well, I want a willow tree. They're like, we got oak trees, Janine, it's an oak tree. And so Glenn Kershaw, one of our EPs, he whispered to me, name it Strange Fruit. And I was like, Strange Fruit? Oh, Billie Holiday. He's like, Billie Holiday, the song about lynching. I listened to it and I just started to cry and I said, this is like absolutely the perfect title because it speaks to what Glenn Turman's secret is in the end.
This particular episode was a little different even for Criminal Minds in that it was less gore and less horror, but the horror was all in the minds of people who were everyday, just an everyday Joe. And the horror was also in the structure of our society. Our society played a large part of the boogeyman in this particular show. And you don't see that much.
Rage. What do you know about a black man's rage? You know nothing.
The bottle episode is traditionally the money saver, but it's also the emotional one because it forces you to get dramatic because you have nowhere to hide. I don't have any blood, I don't have a car chase, I don't have action, I don't have kicking in the doors, I just have the words.
You ever used the N-word, Dave?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
The same guys who called me WAP and Dago. Everyone I knew back then used that language, so what?
When I talked to the network about doing the episode, the network said, Janine, this is a story you have to tell. You're passionate about it. We're going to back you. Say what you want to say. Say it, and we're going to back you. And I felt the confidence to really peel back the layers.
Do you take care of the yard?
Oh, yes, sir. I mow the lawn, sir. Now, you want me to mow your lawn, sir?
I'm going to have Seth Gilliam mock Hotch and be subservient like a slave. I'm going to do all these things that are absolutely uncomfortable. And then I'm also going to show another light, another side of Rossi.
Come on, Rossi, shove him in there. Show him how we do it.
Because I thought Rossi was the oldest, the wisest, but he also lived during a time of segregation. He lived during a time of complete change. I wanted it to say, our country was one way. We're evolving as a country, and do people sort of change as the country changes? Even if there was a belief system, in the 60s or in the 50s or 100 years ago, can the individuals who survive change actually grow with it? So I thought, I gotta do it. I gotta make them be honest and make the friction of the scenes be what we all know is the conflict of race.
You know what you can do with your black wife and your black friend? You can kiss my black ass. Joe and I have wanted to work together for a long time. And we were hoping that something would come up, either something that he was doing or something that I was doing, maybe something on the show, and it happened. Much of what we do is just the two of us, locked in the interrogation room. The director, Gus, storyboarded it so that scenes didn't jump in and out. We were able to run it consecutively as the story progressed. It was able to take on a life of its own, and a life that Joe and I are familiar with, both being stage actors, having gotten our roots, our start on the stage. And so it was like doing a play. And though we were locked in this room, we went from beginning to end in very intense scenes.
You give me your full confession, and I'll keep your secret.
When these two guys went toe-to-toe, and it's not just Joe and Glenn, because everybody brought it. Thomas brought it, Shamar, AJ, everyone did it. Everyone felt the truth in the room, because we all know what they're talking about. When it aired, the amount of people internally, from execs to writers to makeup, people called, like people who don't call, like we're making magic here, but we're making magic every week. People stopped and called. People stopped me in the hall, stopped me on stage to say, wow. And that blew my mind. It just blew my mind.